If you're an introvert and you know you should be more visible on video, in interviews, or online, but the thought of it already feels exhausting, this video is for you. Because being introverted doesn't mean you're bad at personal branding or showing up publicly. It means most visibility advice just wasn't built for you. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a personal brand as an introvert without burning out, without performing, and without trying to become someone you're not. If you're new to my channel, I'm Susan Saravo, and I help business leaders become camera ready with media training and personal branding coaching. If you've ever felt like you should be doing more, but the process itself drains you, stay with me, because the solution isn't more effort, it's a better strategy. A lot of advice around personal branding is built for extroverts. Be everywhere, talk to everyone, show up constantly, network nonstop. When introverts try to follow that advice, they don't fail because they're incapable. They burn out because the strategy is mismatched. So let's reset the conversation. Introversion isn't about being shy, awkward, or antisocial. It's about how you expend and restore energy. Introverts expend energy outwardly through interaction, performance, stimulation, and restore it inwardly through quiet reflection and space. Visibility is outward energy, and if you don't approach it intentionally, it will feel exhausting. Here's the first mindset shift that changes everything. You don't need to become more outgoing, you need to become more strategic. Building your personal brand doesn't require being louder, more animated, or constantly networking. Some of the strongest communicators, executives, founders, and experts are introverts. What makes them effective isn't personality, it's clarity. Introverts do depth over breadth. They're thoughtful, they listen, and they're precise with language. Those are media skills, not liabilities. With introverts, you have to make sure that you are conserving your energy and not to overcommit. We can easily feel bad if we turn down invitations or if we decide that we're going to push ourselves to do something that doesn't really feel right because it's too much. So we really have to listen to that gut instinct. If you feel like you're starting to overcommit, then you need to take a step back and make the decision that's going to be best for you. It's also going to be best for the people that you're serving. Instead of thinking, I have to reach everyone, reframe it as I'm speaking to one person. This applies to video, interviews, podcasts, everything. Picture your ideal client, your ideal viewer, someone who actually needs your message. When you do that, the pressure drops and authenticity increases. Now let's talk about energy management. Visibility isn't just about confidence or messaging. It's about sustainability. One of the biggest mistakes introverts make is treating visibility like it's effortless. It's not. Recording a podcast, shooting several videos, or speaking publicly is work, high output, high focus work. When you stack social plans or additional obligations on top of that, burnout is inevitable. Going out afterward isn't unwinding, it's more output. Plan recovery just like visibility. That might mean recording content in short focused blocks, doing one interview per week instead of 3, scheduling quiet time immediately after a public-facing commitment. Introversion isn't a weakness to overcome. It's an attribute to design around. Attributes become strengths or weaknesses depending on the environment. If you're introverted, you may be better one-on-one than in groups, stronger in structured conversations than spontaneous small talk, more effective when prepared than when improvising. Stop forcing yourself into formats that don't fit. You don't need to dominate networking events. You don't need to post daily hot takes. You don't need to perform. Choose visibility channels that reward depth. Podcasts instead of large networking events. Thoughtful videos on topics you really care about. Short social media blocks instead of endless scrolling. Recognition comes from consistency of message, not necessarily frequency. You can show up less often and still have more impact if your communication is clear, focused, and intentional. You really need to look at being an introvert as your superpower because you have the ability to really hone in on what's important, focus on that, save up all your energy, and deliver, be on when you need to be, and then go for your downtime after that. But introverts tend to be very deep thinkers. They tend to be articulate people, and they tend to know what they want to say exactly at the right time. You're allowed to define your version of visibility. Say, I don't have energy for that format. I do better in smaller settings. I need recovery time after this. Boundaries aren't limitations, they're design choices. When you honor them, visibility becomes sustainable and effective. People trust you because you're grounded, thoughtful, and clear, not because you talk constantly. For me, I tend to be introverted when I'm home. I tend to get my energy from being very quiet and reading or listening to podcasts. And when I have to be extroverted, when I need to be out in a crowd or when I'm at an event or when I'm speaking, I definitely gear up for that with a certain amount of energy. And then when that's over, I need to take some quiet time, some downtime. It can be exhausting for me to be out with people at long dinners, long events for a while because I feel like I need that time to rest and restore. And for a long time, I felt bad about that, or I felt like it wasn't normal, or like, what's wrong with me? How come I have friends and coworkers that can just go, go, go all the time and they don't need any rest periods? But then, as time went on and I learned more about being an introvert, it made me realize that there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. And all we need to do is plan out our lives, plan out our content, plan out when we're going to be visible, when we need energy to be able to have that energy when we need it, and then take the time to restore the energy as we need that. If you're introverted, stop feeling guilty for declining social invitations or saying no to networking. Build your visibility strategy around who you already are. That may be one conversation at a time, one message at a time, one sustainable system at a time. When you do this, visibility stops feeling like a performance and becomes a powerful extension of your expertise.